Hi everybody, this is going to be a tutorial about how to mix henna paste. I know I already have a tutorial on my channel, but that one is in German and I thought I'm going to make an English one, and with the new way I am mixing my henna that I figured out now over the time, which is working better for me. So first you need is henna powder. Make sure it's body art quality henna powder and nothing cheap from any kind of store you get. What I'm using, hope you can see that well, is Sochut henna powder from well, the powder is I think from India, I'm not sure. I purchased it in the UK. I'm going to put a link to the online store where I purchased that down below in the description box. So I've changed something about my henna paste. Before I was using lemon juice, but since that lemon juice is irritating some people's skin if they're sensitive, I changed that, and now I'm using black tea. I have my black tea here in my Moroccan tea can. It's a bit more than usual since I'm going to mix a bigger batch for some appointments that I have the next couple days. This tea is actually pretty warm, so it's like drinking temperature. And the reason why I heat it up is because the warmer your liquid is, the quicker the dye releases. So with a warmed up liquid, the henna is going to be ready quicker. So I only let it rest for an hour, but that next. So I'm just adding a little bit. At the beginning, just add a little bit less than too much, because if it gets too liquid, then you have to add more powder again, and then it's maybe too thick, and then you have to add more liquid, etc., etc. So you better start slowly with a little bit of liquid. So since I am making a bigger batch than usual, I won't stir by hand. I'm going to use a mixer. We will skip that because it's just loud, making uncomfortable noises. So this is how the paste now looks like after some stirring, some mixing. Is a little bit thick for my taste, but it's always better to make the paste at the beginning thicker than to liquid, because once it's to liquid and you have already put it into cones, then yeah, I mean, you could add henna powder, but it's not such a great thing. So what I'm going to do now is, I mean, it's already very stringy henna, but I still like to add sugar to it. Some people use brown sugar, some people use molasses and other things. I just use simple sugar. I do not add any sugar in the summer when it's very humid, but now it's winter. When we are inside, air is very dry, so that helps pretty good when the air is too dry. So I'm just going to stir that now with my hands. Don't need a mixer for that. Usually, many times I use the mixer because it's getting quicker, because mixing that long time makes your arm tired. So sugar makes it even more stringy. I hope you can see that. That's actually very good consistency. Well, I have to say, there is not the perfect henna paste. Everybody prefers his henna paste different. You have to experiment with that, and it also depends on what kind of style you do. If you make like lots of straight lines with the henna dripping, you want something very stringy. When you make bold designs like Sudanese, where you have big spots of henna on your skin, maybe a little bit more liquid. you have to experiment with that. I mean, I'm doing henna now for 8 years, and it took me now, I think, well, somehow I discover something new about my henna paste every year. So let's see what I discover this season. But it took me like 4 or 5 years to learn how to make good henna paste. So what you're going to need now is some essential oils. This is lavender oil. It has to be essential, best with monoterpene alcohol, but it's hard to get here where I'm from. And lavender is the safest one to use, also for children or especially for pregnant people. Some essential oils like eucalyptus and clove can be pretty, well, aggressive, and it's better not to mess around with essential oils. So that's all. You do not need much. It helps to darken the stain of the henna. You can make a henna paste without essential oils, but it might not stay as long. It might not get as dark as you want to. Stand it in. Maybe I should have taken a smaller bowl, but when I'm using my mixer, it's always getting pretty messy. Wow, this smells so good. That looks great. Don't want to waste anything. So what I usually do to test if my henna has the right consistency, I just like cut with my spoon through the paste. And I hope you can see that. Yeah, like this, you can see it well. You see, it's staying in place. It's not falling together. That means the paste is it's not too liquid, it's in perfect consistency. So what I'm gonna do now is, oops, get it all off the spoon. It can be pretty messy. Some people say they use gloves. I don't care. I like to get messy and have henna all over my hands. So what I use now, I take some, I think in English you call it cling films, something like that. So this kind of foil, and I cover my henna with it like this. And the henna became pretty cool, so even though you use warm liquids, it's cooling pretty much, but also had the henna powder stored in the fridge that it will last longer. So I'm going to put this now in a warm place and wait for like an hour. Since I used warm liquid, the dye releases quicker, and we will look back in an hour to check if the henna paste is ready. So the henna has been sitting now for about an hour here in my warm kitchen, and let's see, that looks already good. You can see it's nice and brown, and well, some of my fingers are already messed up. I've made a second batch of henna already, but without essential oils, which I will use for decorating a drum. Looks good. So dip a little bit of my finger in it, and I'm going to wait now like 5 to 10 minutes. This is what we call the spot test, and that will if I get a stain like this on that finger, means my henna is ready. So I let that little spot on for like, I think 10 minutes, and it's nice bright orange. In natural light it looks even better, more flashy. That shows that the henna paste is ready. So all I'm going to do now is fill it in the carrot bag and then put it into cones, and then put the cones in the freezer and use them tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. If you liked that video, thumb up. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Send me a private message. Put it in the comments below. If there is any other tutorial you would like me to record, anything about henna, like how to draw certain designs or whatever, again, put it in the comments below and I will try to do it as quick as I can. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you for watching and bye bye.